What's up, everybody? Welcome to the special Sunday edition of the Fantasy and Frames Draft Show. We are here tonight with our fifth and final draft of the women's best ball tournament. That's the Kay Adams division. Let's see what these girls are up to. We are ready. 4 picks in. We got Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, Brock Bowers going the highest he has gone thus far. And the third
Still not high enough.
I know. We got Bijan. We got Kendall Valenzuela on the clock right now, freshly back from her trip to Japan. Guys, Keith, Kev, what's up?
I mean, amidst torpedo Batgate with the New York Yankees, pretty good here. I mean, this is the fifth and final draft. It's a little bittersweet. We've obviously been through all the four previous. Get to see what we're dealing with tonight. Should be another fun draft.
That's right. What's up, Keith? How's your Sunday? You've had a really good Sunday.
I've had a great Sunday, man. Had a winner, Minwoo Lee, 35-1 odds. That's really good. And had a really good day in golf DFS as well. So always love it when you're winning money. That makes it a extra good Sunday.
That's right.
Definitely know what that first thing is for sure. What's that? Highlight?
Minwoo Lee. He's a golfer who, ironically, is like Australian, but kind of a redneck. He's amazing. Got a little bit of a mullet, mustache. Just beat Scotty Scheffler. Won the Houston Open.
Okay.
Nice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Obviously a big golf guy here.
I once came in last in a golf tournament.
Well, we're going to win the golf tournament at the Fantasy Football Expo. Myself, Nate Markham, Kelly Singh, and I can't. How do you say Nate's last name? Tank. Is it Polvic? How is it?
Pole vote?
Pole vote?
But anyway, that's our fourth. So we're very excited because Kelly can drop bombs. Obviously, she's going to get to play from the ladies' tees, which kicks ass, and we're looking forward to it. We're going to come to win.
That's right. I didn't know there was a golf tournament at the
First year. In between media, we appreciate them putting that on. So doesn't mean I'm going to have to travel with my sticks, which is not the most fun thing in the world, but happy to do it, like I said, for play golf with people in the fantasy football community.
Nice. Will there be golf carts? Because I could drive a golf cart.
There absolutely will. You should talk with the guys. I'm sure they're going to need some volunteers and stuff too.
Oh yeah, I will volunteer to drive a golf cart. That's as much as you want me doing.
Stacy, you shouldn't have put it out there about Oh, I totally lost my train of thought. I had it. I'll come back to it. It was about golf. Oh no! What I was going to say, you shouldn't have said you were, bad at golf or whatever. You gotta put that on there like a social media post. Like certain politicians be like, this is my first time golfing, and I had 11 holes in one. I won at my course. I won my inaugural,
your 15th club championship, like our great president.
I do like to go on my calendar at work. And on certain Fridays, mark myself out, and I refer to it as executive time. Because I heard that is also something that is done in political circles. Is golfing is also referred to as executive time.
Yes, I mean, look, anything you can do to get around, having to pay the piper with that.
Well, guys, we have got number 3 over here. Miss Cindy Q and Keith, you're going to be so excited to talk to her because she took Brock Bowers. So Cindy, welcome to the show. What's up?
Hey.
How you doing?
Cindy, you're a genius.
She won.
I don't know about winning, but I like my first pick.
I do too. I think that's a great pick. That's the highest he's gone so far, and I am perfectly okay with that. He's going number 4 overall in the FFPC Never Too Early drafts. So I think you're right on with that one.
Good.
Yeah, because this is a tight end premium. So everybody who is not quite familiar with the rules and scoring formats of this is a 20-man roster, best ball, slim format, so no defense, no kickers, single QB. We're going to do 2 receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex, and a tight end spot. You're going to get full point PPR with the extra little 0.5 added in for tight end receptions.
Yeah, famously tight end premium.
Famously tight end premium. Here we go. We got our first round completed. We've got Jamar Chase goes off the board first. Then we got Saquon, Brock Bowers, Bijan, Justin Jefferson, Jahmyr Gibbs at 6. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown at 7. CeeDee Lamb, Brian Thomas, Puka go 8 through 9. 11 and 12 are Derrick Henry, Malik Neighbors. On the turn, April has got Nico Collins. So I really like that Neighbor Nico Collins team. That's dangerous.
That's a studly.
Yeah, it is.
1-2 turn.
Only thing would be better if one of those picks were Brock Bowers. How do we feel about like Jamar Chase? It appears to be like the locked in number 1 wide receiver because it's been in every draft, right? He's been the first receiver off the board.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I have no issue with that.
No issue whatsoever. The entire band is back together now that T. Higgins decided long term. Mike Gesicki's back. Joe Burrow's happy. You know, that's status quo. You're talking about an offense that's been top 3 in pass rate over expected the last 3 seasons. So I can't see anything wrong with Jamar Chase. And that should actually, you know, Justin Jefferson, we talk about him, you know, that's probably a pretty steep discount, even at 105. We're talking about, you know, you're splitting hairs with Chase and Jefferson, and it's really by the season that you're kind of reacting to, but Jefferson's awesome, so can't beat that.
I think CeeDee Lamb belongs in that conversation again. You look at the Cowboys, they don't have a lot of options this year, and if Dak can stay healthy, I think Lamb is going to, again, get just a monster target volume, and this has been a Cowboys offense that when Dak is healthy, like their offense is typically really good, and they're going to throw a ton. We know because if you look at the running backs they signed, I don't think they've exactly solved their rushing game issues. No.
Does that make that profile, though, more fragile? I mean, I would say that makes it more fragile compared to Chase, Jefferson. You could even throw in Amon-Ra St. Brown there because we know how that offense is going to be scoring a lot of points, even without Ben Johnson. But I think that makes that profile even more fragile, but it's a good bet to make if, you know, because you had to take him at 101 last year versus now you're getting him at between 106 and 109.
I just think the Cowboys are going to stink, which is good. If you're CeeDee Lamb, but again, now you need Dak to stay healthy, which has been an issue, obviously, the last couple of seasons. But I think if he is with kind of where they're at, I just think that Lamb's going to just get such a monster volume. It's like, who is their number 2 now?
Jake Ferguson, pretty much.
Right? Like that's, you know,
Yeah.
Jonathan Mingo.
There's still somebody, a running back. I'm not going to say who it is because he hasn't been taken yet, but I can't believe this. No, don't say it yet. Cindy might be thinking about taking him, so don't say it. Don't spoil it yet.
Can I say it?
No.
No.
No. I'm like, we're all like holding our breath.
1, 2, 3.
No. Keith,
what?
We will boot you.
That's okay.
Oh my goodness.
I'll go watch a movie.
Yes, Vince, it is. It's Sincere McCormick. That is exactly who we were thinking of.
Yeah.
I thought it was Tyler Algier.
Like we all know. Oh man. Ashton Genty going about where he is going. That's good. I like that. Brian Thomas, Ashton Genty. That's nice. I like that little team from Cassie.
I mean, Brian Thomas over Puka.
I don't know. I mean, that's tomato. I think there. I think that's okay.
I don't think those offenses are tomato.
It's a matter of preference, I suppose.
Yeah. Cindy, you're on deck. Oh my God, Cindy, what are you gonna do? Let's see.
Drum roll.
There it is.
Yes, there she goes. Cindy takes Christian McCaffrey. That is who we were all waiting to see.
Whose jersey is that behind you?
That one's Saquon, actually.
Okay. All I can see is the bottom of it, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Little Saquon. So you a Giants fan?
No, I won that off of the Women of Fantasy Football.
Oh, cool.
Actually, a couple years ago. That one in CD's right next to it.
Justin
Fields.
Justin Fields, my boy Fields. I like that.
Yeah. I like it.
Super Bowl champion Saquon Barkley.
That's right. Man,
I don't have to worry about that for CeeDee Lamb as long as he's a Cowboy, but
that was quite the run, the running back run there.
I mean, I was saying it was Achan, but that's just me.
Guys,
CMC for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's so many ways it can go. Like, if he's healthy and he stays, totally healthy all year, like that's such value for him. Oh my gosh.
I'll take it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you will. Cindy, you're on deck, so I'm not going to ask any questions right now. So instead, I'm going to go through and tell you guys who's drafting in our 5th and final draft tonight. Heading off at number 1, we have got Miss Brenda Phelan. She is joining us here, taking Jamar Chase, JSN, and Josh Jacobs. Guys, we have got Miss Susan Curran over here. She has got Saquon Barkley, Kittle, and Keith's favorite, Ladd McConkey.
Go Dogs.
Andy, you're on deck. You're on the clock, actually. Brock Bowers, Christian McCaffrey. And let's see who our 3rd pick is going to be. We'll get to Susan here about Puka over BJT.
Suspense is killing me.
Suspense, I know. Guys, this is also a 60-second clock, too. So just so you guys know, 60-second clock, 20-man roster. Ooh, T. Higgins. Very nice. Very nice. Your first wide receiver pick. We've got Jana Kimmel at 4 with Dijon, Jonathan Taylor. Let's see if she takes something besides green here.
She is trying to piss Kevin off by going running back.
The highest testosterone starts.
Jana and Amber there. At 5, like I said, we got Kendall Valenzuela taking JJ and Devon Achan. 6, we have got Amber. You guys know her as Amber Alert online. She's got
what? She's an Amber Alert?
That's Amber scary. Alert. I know. I don't think it's a real Amber Alert.
Oh, okay.
We got Miss Melissa Barker. Melissa plays in the Kentucky KFFC. That's how I know Melissa. She and her husband Kirby have been playing with them for a long time. They're awesome. She's got Amon-Ra St. Brown and Bucky Irving. We got Miss Addison Kennedy, our youngest participant so far at 10 years old.
She's killing it.
She is. She is going.
CeeDee Lamb that I talked about, and then taking Drake London with Michael Penix. Love it.
I love it.
The kids are talking about Skibbity Toilet and Zero RB. So the youth is well served in their ideological drafting and high quality memes.
Fantastic.
Oh man, we got Cassie over here. You guys know her as Cassie NFL online. She's got BJT and Ashton Genty. We got Sam Sled over here at 10. Puka, Trey McBride, and TBD for her 3rd pick.
I'm not going to tell you what I just thought you called Sam, but anyway. It's there's kids drafting and stuff.
Nice.
That's her last name. Shannon Blunt here, Derek Henry, AJ Brown, and wrapping us up at 12, April Valaskide. April, my God, I hope I said your last name right. April joined us last year. I got to meet April, hang out with her in Vegas last year during the FFPC draft. She's got Malik Neighbors, Nico Collins. Love it. We got Lamar and Josh Allen off the board already. We got Marvin Harrison.
If I know Shannon, Joe Burrow's coming off the board.
I wonder if Kendall swore when Lamar got drafted.
Oh, April said I said it perfectly. Yes.
She's just saying that to make you feel better.
Probably so. I need validation, if anything. That's what I've learned about myself. I need to be constantly validated.
Kev, I asked Stacy how she's going to feel if the Braves are 0-7 when we go to the home opener next Friday, because I didn't realize we have the Dodgers next. Like, what a way to start your season. 4 games in San Diego and then 4 in LA.
I mean, better than starting it off with the Yankees, I guess. I mean, to see how they greeted former Yankee Nestor Cortez yesterday with back-to-back homers to start.
3 pitches too, right?
Yeah.
We got the Braves on right now. They're tied 0-0. Sunday night baseball. And like I told Keith earlier, I'm really glad that we're doing this draft while that game is on so that I can mute the TV and not have to listen to that dweeb Alex Rodriguez call game.
That's how you really feel, Stacy.
Yeah, that is 100% how I really feel. I cannot stand listening to Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of A-Rod either. Even as a Yankee fan, like it took some hard pill swallowing to stomach him for the length of his contract. Like it was very hard. I hated that guy.
Listen, anybody who can bumble J-Lo, I don't know what. Come on now.
Well, what about Ben Affleck then? He's bumbled her twice.
Isn't he? Aren't they still currently married?
Are they?
I think so.
I don't know.
Well, I just gave
You're asking the wrong
misinformation. My bad.
Oh my
on and
God,
off so
April.
much.
April, I love this team so much. Malik Neighbors, Nico Collins, Sam Laporta, of course, and Terry McLaurin. Oh my gosh, we're going in the fourth round. This team is hot. April.
In your face, Stacy. Jennifer Lopez is not dating, following her official divorce from Ben Affleck.
Are you serious? I didn't know they got divorced. This is breaking news for me.
Yep. And Ben Affleck, he's done talking about his ex-wife, J-Lo. He's not proud their marriage ended, but he's ready to move on, per the New York Post.
Well, ever since he divorced Jennifer Garner, he's just been...
Are we co-sponsored by TMZ tonight as well?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
call us.
Maybe. Vince, are you a Rays fan?
I'm sure those are definitely real players.
They are real players because I had Ryan, however you say his name, on my fantasy baseball team last year.
Yeah, I love what.
Yeah, I had Ryan. What's his name?
Yeah,
Who's
I did.
was it?
I sure did.
Yeah.
Team Laporta all the way, April. Yes. All right, Anna has a serious question for us. She wants to know thoughts on running backs repeating a healthy season this year. Or was last season an outlier? We're loading up on wide receivers. That didn't quite work out for any of us. Kevin, maybe this is for you since you like to draft RBs. I'm sorry, everybody but you. You don't get to answer this one, I guess.
In your face, Kev. I've been converted. Kevin has been telling me the gospel of 0 RBs. He, knocked on my door. He had his little pamphlet. And now
it's a tablet now.
I'm a true believer. I mean, just, I'm going to take the advantage because I actually think more running backs are going to go earlier than ever this year. And I'm going to load up on receivers because not only did the running backs have incredible health last year, I think overall, the receivers had really bad luck with health, which is rare. Like it really is unusual to see like multiple top wide receivers deal with injuries. So yeah, I'm going to scoop up, the Brock Bowers and those receivers of the world while other people take backs. Cause I still think like always, there's a lot of value and guys you can take later.
Yeah. And it's just simple variance really, when you're talking about, obviously we had a pretty historic running back health season. I mean, odds are that's not going to happen again, especially in a consecutive year. And then on the other side of that with wide receivers, we saw a lot of, injuries. We saw Puka went down for a handful of games.
Tyreek was dealing with some hand stuff.
Like, the wrist thing. Yeah. I mean,
Higgins missed games like a lot of guys did.
Godwin. I mean, we saw a lot of injuries with wide receivers. Typically, that's not what happens. Josh Herbsmeyer did a lot of research.
Nico missed games. Neighbors missed. I mean, like it really was crazy how many receivers missed multiple games. It was wild.
Yeah, Rasheed, and it's right there, Rasheed. Cindy's on the clock. Oh my gosh, Cindy. Yes. Devontae Adams. Yes.
Sexy.
That's so great. I love that pick.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, Josh Herbsmeyer did a lot of research regarding severe injuries for running backs and wide receivers, and used like a 15-year sample and found out that running backs were about 350% more likely to suffer a injury that lasts 4 or more weeks versus the wide receivers do. So So using that and then pairing that to last season, it's very, very, you know, it was a wild shift in injuries for both positions. So probably going to see something a lot closer to the mean this year. So that with this current ADP where you're seeing 5 running backs go in the second round, 3, so that's what 9 in the first 2 rounds. Like, it makes sense to wait.
15 in the first 4.
Right.
Or no, 17. Excuse me, 17.
Yeah,
Wow.
you can still get really, really good options, you know, into the 6th, 7th, 8th round and still be totally fine and build a massively, you know, talented roster of wide receivers, tight ends, and elite quarterbacks.
Cindy's getting some love in the chat over here, except for some from Susan because you sniped her on Adams.
Well, I have to say, Kendall took Mike Evans from me, so I was hoping he was going to make it down to me.
Well, so he's going. Evans has been going in the, let's see. Where I just saw him. Where did he go? In the 3rd round. So Kendall getting him all the way down here. You know, what was he? Wide receiver 19 off the board. Like, that's just great value. Both of you guys, I think,
I saw him coming closer and closer.
Oh yeah. I mean, like what we mentioned with her getting JJ at 5 and then Devon Achane, who has been going at the 1-2 turn. You know, and then now with Evans, that's a great pick. Cindy is on the clock, but as soon as you pick, let's talk about your team here. And I like Susan is over here speaking to my little tight end loving heart with George Kittle and TJ Hawkinson off the board.
Yeah, not too shabby taking. Yeah, I mean, you know, Hawkinson is gonna. I think he's a little fragile just because you still have to compete with Jordan Addison, who I think is one of the most underrated wide receiver 2s in the league, and I think he should be talked about in the same kind of breath as a Devonta Smith or a Jalen Waddle. And I don't think gets that kind of recognition, but you know, I think that's going to be Hawkinson having to fight with Addison to get more targets, whereas, you know, how it was before when he was healthy, you know, he really didn't have to fight. He was almost that clear second target. Granted, it was a little bit different room in 2023, but still, I think Hawkinson's a little more fragile, but still, if JJ McCarthy is a lot better than we predict, that's still going to be a good pick.
Exactly. Look at our 2 Chiefs going in the 5th round with Xavier Worthy going on Brenda's team, rounding out her room with Jamar Chase and JSN. And then Cindy, you just took Rashee Rice with to make your 3rd wide receiver.
Wasn't really sure about that one, but I like him as a 3rd.
Be sure. That's a great that's a team I would draft.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Browers, McCaffrey, Higgins.
Who's Browers? Just for the record.
If that's his combo name. If you just, you know.
Browers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that like the Wario to Brock Bowers?
Yeah, totally. Vince, I didn't realize that you were such a Rays fan. If I make it out to a game this season at Steinbrenner, I will. I'll try to get you some swag, and get it out to you.
Well, that's pretty nice of you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm here. I'm in Tampa. We have got Miss Jana Kimmel joining us tonight. Jana, what's up? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
I'm just out here making everyone angry, drafting running backs. Someone's got to do it.
I mean, yeah, you're making Kevin like you can't see it. I don't know if you saw earlier. His head looked like it was going to explode at one point. So
I mean, I did hear it. So, like, you know, I just thrive on being in my villain era. Someone has to do these things.
Yes.
At least we just love to play the heel.
That's all I can do.
I respect it.
I mean, if everyone's out here drafting wide receivers, then, like, really, what are we all doing? Someone has to go against the grain.
As my dad says, we can't all be truck drivers, so I'm with you.
Let's get you some value there. Tell us about your team here. You've got Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Lamar Jackson, DJ Moore, and then
I'm
Jameson
firmly
Williams.
in the running backs or back category. Like, they're all very cranky that we've spent the last couple of years devaluing them, thinking they're not worthy. They've been a little banged up. They're all pissed off, and they're all here looking to make a name for themselves again. And I'm here for it. Give me all the points. Go get all of your revenge. Let's do this together. I'm more than happy to be the beneficiary with them on this.
Is that how you drafted last year? Were you all in on running backs? Like, because I was not, and it was
I did go all in on running backs. It burned me a little bit with like the Christian McCaffreys of the world, but Jordan Mason rode in from stage left. We were okay for a little while. Then the wheels came off again, but it actually worked out okay. We're cautiously optimistic for this year.
Nice. As someone who had 0 shares of Saquon Barkley, I was just regretting my life.
Saquon did very well for me last year.
Put us all in there.
Else.
Well, my thing is I don't believe in all in Jalen Hurts, so I very much think that offense can only function through Saquon. So that was kind of my feeling going into that season. But I'm just a Jalen Hurts hater.
Super Bowl winning quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
Yes, correct.
MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts.
Correct. Not a fan in the slightest, but I'm very much in the minority on that.
So is that just from a evaluating standpoint, or who's your team?
Okay, so full disclosure, I am a Cowboys fan.
There we go.
Also full disclosure though, I live in the greater Philadelphia area. So it's not great on either side.
A lot of confusion there, I will say.
Let me ask you this, because
nothing good's happening for me here.
Weren't Philly fans talking mad trash about the coaching staff and Hurts and stuff during the year? And then it cracked me up after the Super Bowl to see all these same people that are being like, Jalen Hurts sucks. We got to fire our coach. Correct. And they're going, this is the greatest roster of all. And I'm going, wait a minute now. Weren't you guys just saying these guys suck? Like literally a few months ago.
Yeah. See, my issue with Jalen is that he really hasn't developed. I don't think he's gotten better as a quarterback. It's great that he's behind an incredible offensive line. It's great that he's got wide receivers that bail him out at every turn. But when push comes to shove and the game's in his hands, which thank God very rarely happens for them, it doesn't go well. I mean, he can't get past a second read. He does not do that well.
Still can't throw over the middle of the field either, which drives me crazy. Everything's on the outside.
It doesn't end well. He can't roll to the left. He can only roll one way. That's been since college. We never got that figured out. But like at some point he's gonna have to evolve, or we're gonna continue where we are now. And that offensive line continues to retire. So it's not getting better.
But I think isn't it coaching at some point? Like, because their offensive line, it's amazing how they lose, arguably one of the greatest centers ever. And then their offensive line got better. It's like, how does that happen?
Well, they have the best offensive line coach in the NFL.
Right? I mean, yeah.
That helps. But it's a locker room culture. It works. But they're losing those guys, by the second. And in another year or two, that whole culture is going to be gone. And we've got AJ Brown reading self-help books, and it's really not going to sustain itself.
Well, it's like what you said. He's going, look, have you seen Jalen Hurts throw the ball? I need to read self-help books, not to strangle this dude. So.
I mean, I would be too.
It's all right. Once we write the obituary on the Eagles, they'll draft 7 more Georgia players, and they'll
probably.
Well, I'm still not over them getting
play together. They already do. They're just drafting them all from the same place.
Right? It's a farm system.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the Cowboys are any better. I'm just hoping Dak, rides off into the sunset or something terrible happens so we can move on from that.
Oh my God. Are you saying something terrible happens to Dak as long as he's out of there?
I don't want any part of it.
But isn't it Jerry that you need to ride off into the sunset? Not
yeah,
Dak.
but he's never going to die. He's full of all that rage. It's never going to happen.
That's what the contrary ones live the longest, I think.
Yes, that's what happens.
That's true.
It's going to be forever.
Absolutely.
Look at the difference in Janu Smith tonight to the other night.
Oh my gosh. April, again, girl, your team has given me the tingles. I love this so much. I love it. April, I hope you plan on coming on because we've got to talk about this build.
We leave you two alone for this one, or
yeah, right? Get a room, Stacy.
That team is hot. Oh my god! Yeah, I really like how this draft is shaken out. These are a lot of fun builds. You girls are drafting back to back. Cindy's got 3, Jenny, you've got 4.
Yeah.
Melissa is on her 6th pick right now.
I mean, I still got I still got eyes for Cindy's team. Not gonna lie, it's
it's a good one.
These are great. These are a lot of fun.
Do we think Montgomery is a value when Kendall got him, or is that a little early? Where do you guys stand on him this year? Because I feel like Gibbs is going to get more unleashed this season than in years past. And yes, I've been burnt, I think 2 years in a row saying that, but
I think we all have.
I just think that Gibbs proved, especially in like that playoff run and everything, this guy is just incredible. And the Montgomery thing is really nice, and he's a good backup, but I can't see them continue to do the split the way they have.
Maybe not, but she's got him. Okay, so she takes him in the 5th round as her RB2. So she's got him matched with Devon Achane. So, I mean, as your RB2 is what? Like your least important position on your entire team. Mm-hmm. So she takes David Montgomery. And look, maybe gives, a little bit more run this year, but they just use them so well together. I mean, like, you don't call them Sonic and Knuckles for no reason, right? Those guys work really well together. So I think that's a great spot for her to grab him. And if you're, that's probably going to be one of the best RB2s.
My question is, though, again, it's not so much. I really am curious because do we believe that's more a Dan Campbell or a Ben Johnson thing, right? Like where he was going to.
We're going to find out.
That's what I mean. Sure. Yeah, that's the question, right? Like that's kind of the point I'm trying to make.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So.
Well, you say that, but we saw in Philly that sometimes you can really break something when you lose an offensive and defensive coordinator. Just 2-3 years ago.
Who took over as the Lions OC? Do we know? Does anybody know? I don't know.
He's 27 years old.
Is it somebody from outside the organization or somebody from inside? Did they promote from within? Because that might make a difference.
He's a Nepo baby.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
No, he's it was John Morton. He's Denver's passing game coordinator last season.
Okay.
And look at Bo Nix. So I mean,
yeah. All right.
Hope that doesn't mean that they're going to throw to their third tight end 15 times a game too. But
yeah. Who is this year's Devon Vele?
Not at all.
Exactly. What was it? Adam Troutman. Yikes.
Baker.
Oh, there's a steal, Brenda. God, I can't believe Baker continues to be going so much behind the rest of the QBs after what we saw last year. And again, he ran. I love that you're getting, the receivers back. I think Bucky's going to make that offense even better. Like, I like Tampa a lot this year as a serious contender. And I think their offense is going to be incredible.
So much.
I mean, look how much better he gets each year with actual continuity.
Yep.
I mean, you let the guy have some semblance of knowing people around. Incredible what he can do.
I mean, I think he still has some of that stink left on him from when he was pretty much a nomad going from Carolina to the Rams to, and then he finally sticks in Tampa at age 28 or 29 or whatever it is. And now people still want to discount him. I mean, the 6th round for a quarterback is still pretty good capital, especially in a draft like that. But I mean, you've got the same offense that's basically, now you have a full season of Bucky as the guy rather than
with McMillan coming on top of everything else. Whew.
Yeah. Like it's the continuity is the positive for Baker. And then I still think there's the lingering side effect of everything he's kind of went through the previous 2-3 seasons.
Can we say now he's officially lived up to the number 1 pick in the draft? Because I think he has.
I don't
know if we're quite there yet, but he's on the doorstep.
Yeah. Yeah, he does thrive in it. Did you guys see him, the clip of him hitting dingers out there at Ray's?
He's got a good swing.
Yeah.
What kind of, was he using the torpedo bat? What kind of bat was he using?
I don't know if they found it.
It was AI, Kevin, and they got Stacey. So
maybe they just left some. Maybe the Yankees left some before they left for New York. I don't know.
Stacey, we're 0-3. We don't need to be talking smack, okay? I'm just saying, let's get a win and then we'll start talking about smack, okay?
I will always talk about the Yankees. Cindy, you took Bo Nix right here.
Damn right she did.
QB8 in round 7. Tell me.
Well, I was going to take Baker, and Brenda took Baker. So
Brenda.
Brenda sniping picks left and right.
I owe Bo Nix an apology still. I want to put that again on the record. I said he was going to suck. I said that it was smoke and mirrors early in the season, and he just kept getting better. So now I'm sorry. Like, I see it. It is definitely a great fit with Sean Payton, which a lot of people made that point last year when he got drafted by the Broncos. And I was holding on to what I saw, honestly, more at Auburn than anywhere. And it's really been impressive. And I think that with his rushing upside, he does deserve to be going, in this area that he is and where, Cindy just took him.
Yeah, I mean, he last year finished the season as QB9 coming in. Let's see. If I say coming in one more time, I'm going to just have to shut my mouth and put tape over it.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see that.
19.4 fantasy points was his average per game last year.
Yeah, Daniels got all the attention, and Bo also had, because, what did Daniels average? Like 21, 22 points per game? So you're talking
21.5.
Yeah.
21.5. Yep. Love it. Love it. All right, Vince, we'll see you later. Hope little guy's feeling better. Scampers,
go ahead, enjoy your Vegemite sandwich, Vince.
Yes, enjoy your Vegemite sandwich.
And people wanted to talk about Bo Nix too, not being able to throw the deep ball. He threw the second most deep, passes over 20 yards in the NFL last year. So.
That's part of my apology. Yep. He also can't throw the ball down the field, which I said he couldn't do that. So I was just wrong about Bo.
Scampers, we don't acknowledge the Dodgers on this podcast, so
no, we don't.
We don't. No, they don't exist.
Persona non grata.
That's what that is accurate.
Not because
I don't know what that means, but it sounds fancy. So good for you,
Oh man, guys, we are wrapping the 7th round. We've got 3 QBs off the board in Bo Nix, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy. Let's see who April takes just to continue her reign of terror on this draft.
Can I just say Addie is kicking tail and taking names? I can't believe she's 10 years old, right? Is that what you told me, Stacey?
Well, Miss Addie Kennedy.
Love this draft. She gets 2 stud receivers. James Cook, who I think after what we saw last year, they're going to feed the beast. I think this is, become kind of a Buffalo run offense. I think the Texans offense is going to be much better with Christian Kirk and a new offensive coordinator. Maybe Mixon doesn't get quite the volume, but I think their offense is better, which could mean even more touchdowns. Obviously, I love Pickens. And then the Mahomes thing, I think he's mad. And I do think there's a chance that we're going to get the Mahomes revenge tour this year because everybody has kind of just said, okay, you got Lamar, you got Allen, you got all these guys. And, Mahomes is no longer elite, which is kind of insane. And if Worthy and Rice are healthy and not, arrested again, you get one more good year at Kelsey. I think that you could see the Chiefs offense, particularly on the passing attack, have a big bounce back year and remind everybody Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are pretty good.
As long as Travis Kelsey doesn't run like a podcaster, that 6th round price.
Oh man. That's why we're going to clock everybody's 40 when we get out to the expo this year. Stacey's going
hell
first.
You are.
I'll clock everybody's.
I'm waiting for my pro day. I'm not doing it at the.
Oh no, you're waiting for your pro day to do it.
My pro day, yeah.
Not doing
do
it
like Abdullah Carter and back out last minute.
I'll go out to NDSU. I'll Trey Lance will be there because he's not doing anything.
You're not going to wait to it. Say you had an injury after if you don't like your time. That's not how you're going to run it.
I mean, I might.
Well,
I'm gonna have like a makeup artist draw like bruises on my foot.
He'll have somebody come out and be like, Kev really wanted to run, but he's battling a ankle. It's like Julio Jones. I'll never forget when he ran like that 4.38 or whatever. He had a broken foot still, which is one of the most disgusting things ever. Julio's such a beast.
Yeah. Clock my 40 with a sundial.
Okay, all right. So we've got April taking 2 tight ends. We got Addie joining the crew here with taking Evan Ingram to pair with Travis Kelsey. Miss Melissa has got Tucker Craft mac and cheese.
I was about to get so mad if you didn't do the nickname.
Craft mac and cheese.
Okay.
Then we got Susan with Kittle and TJ Hawkinson. I love this.
Still a lot of teams without a tight end though. Look, Shannon doesn't have a tight end right now.
Sucking up that value.
She's got Kincaid.
I know.
Oh, I get the joke now. I'm sorry, Kev. I stepped on your joke. My bad, buddy.
I am a noted Dalton Kincaid, like eviscerator.
Kevin, we know they're going to put at least 3-4 screens to him so that way he can have a few receptions each game for the stats.
I mean, I mention it every time I'm on a podcast. The Rube Goldberg machine that is Dalton Kincaid.
This
Move
is 18
his chess pieces around to get him a 2-yard.
You guys stop using these big words, Kev. I don't know what you're saying.
This is his third year, right? He's going into his third year, Kincaid?
He is.
It feels like a decade of him disappointing.
Really kind of come into their own, right? Around that third year?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Tell that to Cal Pitts.
I was trying to think of something nice to say. And my words have lost.
There's nothing nice to say other than he had a really good rookie season.
Anything,
huh? He had a really
I gotta think of something good
to
say about Kincaid. I'm sure he's a nice young man.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's all I got.
I'm sure Stephon Diggs is going, really? That's who you decide to throw the ball to, Buffalo? You get rid of me and you're going to throw it to Dalton Kincaid? That's what you get.
By week 5, it's going to be, really? These are my teammates?
These are my teammates. This is it. All right, Jana is on the clock. Cindy, you are on deck. 8th round. We are moving. We're moving along.
Kev, what do you feel about Kendall taking 4 backs in the first 8 rounds? 7 rounds. You want to get her or...
I'm going to have a strongly worded message for her. No,
I was in my villain era.
To her credit,
she just got back from Japan, so she's probably sleep deprived. If I had to be honest,
time lag, time differences. I get it. It's a whole different culture out there. So I don't mind
when you have Josh Jefferson, Evans, and Allen, though, as the other 3 first 7 picks.
So it's like 4.5 running backs with Allen for being
and Debo, maybe 5.
We're up to 5, yeah.
That's fun. Jana, so you took your first rookie in the 7th round from Sean Jenkins. We asked this of everybody. How do you feel about taking rookies in drafts this early before the draft actually happens? Are they just dart throws? Do you feel particularly strongly about Jenkins?
I like Jenkins a lot. I watch a lot. I've watched a lot of him. I tend to watch a lot of Big Ten, a lot of Ohio State. So I've seen pretty much all of his college career. And I think he's going to land somewhere. He's going to end up getting a fair amount of carries. So it's kind of a dart throw, but I feel like it's a decent one. And again, I'm in my running back revenge era, so I feel like at least we've got one that doesn't have a ton of miles on his tires. Has not taken quite as many hits the last 2 years because they've had their little running back by committee going. So I'm going in on it. If I'm going to go with a rookie, I'm at least going with a running back rookie.
Like Cindy, same question for you because you took Emeka Buka here in the 8th round, who's one of my favorite wide receiver rookies coming out this year, right?
Yeah, I'm always kind of nervous because you just never know where they're going to go. He's a great player, so we're hoping.
Yeah, he's a solid one to take if you're gonna take one, in the earlier rounds of the draft. Go with the ones that are gonna, that are super talented. They're gonna produce wherever they land. Ashton Genty. That's probably the 2nd round. It's probably the lowest we're gonna get him. All year. So let me take a look and see where Emeka's been going because I feel like you may have gotten a little round 9. Okay, so right about where you got him.
Close.
Yeah, a lot of variance, especially with the rookies that don't have teams. It's hard to kind of parse where because we don't, obviously know their draft capital. We don't know their team. So the ADP on these guys are going to be up and down. So it's almost anywhere in a 4-round kind of gap. Ahead and behind of their ADP is fine for those guys.
Yeah, I think so. Cindy's on the clock, making her 9th selection. Jana, you are on deck. We've got a quarterback run going with Kyler and Dak Prescott. So 2 teams now have 2 QBs.
Yeah, taking Herbert and Prescott, like I do like that combo there, especially 8th and 9th round. You didn't have to spend too much draft capital on probably the 2 quarterbacks that she could probably not have to draft the 3rd or probably draft one like very late.
Oh yeah. I think both of those teams are done with Brenda and Susan. You guys wouldn't necessarily need to pick somebody else, but I like what you've got here with Justin Herbert and then pairing him with Ladd McConkey. That's hot. Ooh, Caleb Johnson. All right, Cindy. With little Jake Ferguson.
A lot of people
like game.
Is that a holler pick, Jana?
A little bit, yeah.
A lot of people like Caleb Johnson to be the back, but with Jalen Warren in Pittsburgh. That's where I'm seeing him be mocked quite a bit. So that could be a good spot for Val. I mean, if he gets to the Steelers, Caleb Johnson's probably going like 2 rounds higher.
Oh, he's gonna be a monster if he ends up there.
Yeah, we got some Caleb Johnson love here in the chat. Sean's Caleb Caleb is his draft crush.
I like it. That's a good one. If you're gonna have a draft crush, it's not a bad one to have.
No, it's definitely not.
And I'll be able to get a lot more Jalen Warren, I'll tell you that much. So
oh yeah. Here we go. Jaden Reed. Kevin's favorite.
How are you gonna take him for
anything bad about Jaden Reed ever? Just because Green Bay doesn't want to use him. And they would rather use like 9 other receivers.
They're waiting to trade for George Pickens. You know that.
Oh my! Please,
ball.
I'm gonna roll it into existence. Screw you, Stacey.
Putting that out there.
I'm putting it out there. What you gonna do about it?
I can't. I won't be able to take it.
Team Pickens.
No.
And then she'll have a jersey. That's gonna be my favorite part. Is when she's a huge hypocrite and she's like, "Oh, he's the greatest receiver ever."
You know what my only Packer jersey is? Do you guys want to guess the only Packer jersey I have?
No, and Brett Favre.
It is Brett Favre.
I knew it.
Wow.
I know you so well.
I can't wear it anymore. I had to retire that one.
He texted you too, Stacey. You can tell us. It's a
No,
safe space.
We won't tell anyone. No one will know.
I will tell you all this, as I have mentioned this before. That girl that he did text went to the same high school I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She did.
It could have been worse. He could have been texting military secrets and.
That's true.
Happens all the time now. No big deal.
Oh man. He could have been texting the playbook.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at Addie taking Tajay Spears, one of my favorite 0 RB guys.
Addie is crushing it.
She might be more woke than I thought. If she's taking Spears in the 9th, I like it.
I know.
Yeah, this is great. April's like, oh, we need a QB. April, you could probably wait for. There's still a lot of good.
There's a guy that I'm not gonna say his name because I'm gonna be freaking out, but
yes, Sean, that is accurate. What you put
I mean, how long did Renee wait on Friday?
And
that
she got the quarterback that we're talking
round?
that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you want the name of that quarterback, after this stream, you can go on to our previous stream here on the Fantasy and Frames YouTube channel. Don't click away from this one, though.
Yes, exactly. Oh, Ricky Pierce. That's nice, Shannon. I like that. Ricky Pierce, I'll pick.
There's a wide receiver I'm waiting for.
I would. Of course I would. What's going on with Brandon Ayuk? We don't know what's going on with Brandon Ayuk. Who knows when he's going to be back?
Great question.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's why
the question is though, I really do have serious concerns about what is this Niners offense going to look like, because the offensive line obviously a little bit less wear. I have real concerns that this may finally be the year that we see San Francisco kind of fall back from a talent perspective and begin to rebuild anew. Which could be trouble because depending on what you believe in Brock Purdy, a lot of people still think if he doesn't have everything, right around him, he can't, lift hides, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be the heaviest lifting, I think, by far of his young career this year.
Yeah, I think this will be really telling. But like I was looking to see who took Ayuk, and Cassie has him. She got him in the 8th, but she's also got Brian Thomas, Garrett Wilson, and then Ted McMillan here. So, she can afford to wait on Ayuk to come back. And then when he does, if he's either there or if they traded him or something like that, she's got great depth at that position.
And Ayuk has been one of those guys, at least in my opinion, that when it seems like everybody's in on him, that is when he disappoints. And like this year, where it seems like everybody's kind of down on him. Last time that happened, he went bananas. So it would only make sense with people kind of down on him that he comes back and reminds people he was one of the best receivers by especially the nerd metrics that me and Kevin love so much that there is.
Well, that's the thing is he has to be he has to be uber efficient because like the counting stats, like they're good, but they're not great. Like he had 2023 where he was 3.01 yards per out run. Other than that, he's been fine, but not super great. Like, from a per target perspective, per route stuff. So that's where I worry. I'm not sure if he can like carry an offense. Like, I mean, he doesn't need to, but I don't know if that's the capability he has. Like he feels like a really good 2. Like as far as like if you're gonna, I don't know if he could be a 1, but he can be a good 2, and maybe who knows, maybe Juwan Jennings or Ricky Pearsall. I mean, Kittle's still there, obviously, but that's the good thing is that he has all those guys that he can kind of seed to.
And I've knocked CMC. Maybe that is a return for him to where he is hyper targeted in the passing game, which would obviously make him very valuable in any of these PPR formats.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kevin, you're saying George Kittle, one of only 3 tight ends last year that had over 1,000 yards receiving. Do you guys know who the other 2 were?
I know who one of them was. Our Lord and Savior Brock, or as you like to call him, Browers.
Brock Browers. That's right.
Bill Brasky.
Funny enough, the top 3 tight ends that were in this draft: Bowers, and George Kittle. I'm going to call him Brock Browers now for the rest of the season.
And that was out without like an actual offense or quarterback at any point.
Right?
Like, what's he going to do when he actually has one of those? Like,
he's going to feast.
And one of the most accurate ones.
That's how I warned everybody last year. He is a true unicorn.
Yes.
He was 18 years old on a national championship UGA team that featured a ton of first-round draft picks, and he was by far the best player.
Pickens, McConkey, James Cook.
That's exactly how you say his name now. Skippers, I put Jimmy Garoppolo in the chat, and I'm trying to read that through the chat to figure out why. I wasn't sure why you mentioned Jimmy Garoppolo, other than I don't.
Oh, the quarterback that you can wait on later.
Oh, that you can wait on later. Okay. I was like, we can just talk about. I'm happy to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo for the rest of the show if you guys want. Like, we need to put up a little photo.
Keep it in your pants, Stacey. Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready for Jimmy Garoppolo. She's already over there.
All right.
I said the other night, and I'm going to say it again, Caleb Williams going where he is, to me, feels like potential huge value with how much he ran last year. Obviously, I think the offense is going to be better this year overall. I like the way that they kind of made the middle of the offensive line much stronger. And, again, I did not know he was going to run at the clip kind of that he did last year. A lot of design runs and stuff, too. If he runs 80% of what we saw second half of the season and then improves on the passing numbers, he could legit be a top 5, in that like 5 to 8 range QB, and he's going more in like that 15 to 20 range in most drafts I've seen so far.
Yeah. Keith, I've got a fun Bears stat for you. If
hit me.
Ready. Okay. So Caleb Williams last season was 3,000. Hang on, let me get my numbers here. Let me find it real quick. 3,541 passing yards, which is the 5th most in franchise history. Do you know which? Name me the 2 other quarterbacks who are in the top 4 positions? Because there's one.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah,
That's
Jay Cutler. Who's the other one?
Give me. How far back do we go? Is it like 80s,
I don't have a
90s?
year.
Can you give me that?
I've never heard of this player. Let's just put it this way.
Eric Kramer.
Yes. How did you know that?
The 90s then.
Because it's the 90s.
It's the 90s thing. Hey guys, guess who we have waiting in the wings, ready to join us?
Addie?
Are you guys ready?
You will be
Are you guys ready? It's Addie Kennedy.
Yes.
I'm a Bills fan.
Great draft, Addie, so far.
What's up,
Love
Addie?
it. Love it, love it, love it.
How do you like your team so far?
Good.
You've got quite the little crew here. You've got CeeDee Lamb and Drake London, George Pickens, Calvin Ridley, got James Cook James Cook. Is that
Good
had to do because he's really good and he's a Bill?
Yep.
Yes. How do you like your team?
It's good. Just not that I don't have Josh Allen, but
I know you'll have to talk to Kendall. She's nice.
Kendall is such a jerk. I'm sorry, Addie. I thought she was going to leave him for you, but she didn't.
She
Addie,
did not
let me ask you a
understand the
question.
assignment.
So when you're drafting this team and killing it, and I'm sure inevitably you and your dad are going to do a draft. Do you ever call him Boomer? That's what I want to know.
no, but I'm gonna start.
That's why I love it. That's my girl.
Boomer.
That's great.
Addie, is this your first draft so far this year?
This year, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, she's like, I'm a vet, Stacy. Don't you worry about it. What's your favorite format, Addie, that you've done? Do you like the PPR? Do you like best ball? Do you have a certain format you like more than others, or you just whatever it is, sign you up?
So I tried setting a lineup last year. It was kind of tricky for me because I've never done it. So like best ball, I like how it like gives you like the best players.
Yep.
Have like the best score of the week.
Just draft it and forget it, right? I've been saying for a while, this is the future of fantasy football, in my opinion. Like even for your friends leagues and stuff, because you don't have to worry about free agents and trades and everything. It's just you draft your team. It's like studying for a quiz, right? You cram the night before and then you forget it after you take the test. So it's perfect.
We've got Cindy's on the clock. Jana, you are on deck. Addie, you've got a little bit to go before you take your 11th pick. Real quick in the chat, we got Index of Suspicion has not done an FFPC draft yet this summer, so these ADPs were intriguing. Where you can get more ADP information is if you go and subscribe to Fantasy Mojo online. He's going to have all the latest and most up-to-date ADP information for the FFPC for all of their tournaments that they do broken down. You can get draft boards from the last 7 days. That's what I'm working off of last night from the Never Too Early Best Ball tournament that they do that is going on right now that you can jump in. It's essentially the same kind of format and roster build that we're using here.
Fantasy Mojo is the best.
It is 100% the best. And if you're not following Mojo on there to get the information, and you're playing in the FFPC, I don't know what you're doing. You got to go do that. If you're going to play in the FFPC, you're just doing yourself a disservice if you don't use Fantasy Mojo. And that is the truth.
That's all you have to say about that?
That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. God knows it's that Mojo necessity, 100%. Addie, you've got a Go Bills fan over here in the chat with you, Mr. Nick Cause over there.
Go Bills!
The chat is very pro Addie.
Yeah.
Now, Addie, is there anybody on any team that you will not draft, at all? If you're saying go Bills, are you not going to draft any Patriots or?
Yeah. Which team in the division do you dislike the most?
Yeah.
Don't draft from your heart.
Oh, that's
she's got it figured out already.
That's smart. That is, yeah.
So, yes.
Think with your brain, not with your heart.
Love that.
Yes.
Yeah, like my anti-Saints. I share it seemed like every week that was the best person you could pick up on the waiver wire. And I'm going, no, don't pick up any Saints. They're horrible.
Oh, we got some Browns hate over here in the chat.
That's not hate. That might actually just be truth. That's again
right.
talking with your brain.
Eventually, it's got to turn back around.
Yeah, I take Njoku. That's fine.
I mean, you're the Browns. What would you guys do?
That happens, but I mean,
would you draft a quarterback? Because with their situation with Watson, I actually understand them taking a QB. Because this is the one way they could kind of get through the rest of the Watson contract and get a quarterback that is going to be obviously a significant upgrade. Do you think they end up taking Sanders? Because I think we kind of all agree, right? Ward's going one to the Titans.
Yeah, probably so.
I think they have to. I think this is their only shot at bringing in a real quarterback and being able to sell it to the team. to the team, to the fans. I mean, the fans are ready for a quarterback, but I think internally, I think they can sell it and be like, no, we didn't just set $100, $300 million on fire. It's fine. This is okay. It's fine, guys.
As the Falcons,
they are hurting
$100
really
million set on fire. It's not fun. It's not. They're with the quarterback right there. Thank you, Shannon.
It's all right. We're just paying him to hang out in the quarterback room with one Achilles tendon.
Hey, but we do need to hold on to Cousins because I keep reminding people, Penix, both knees. Like I can just see the Falcons trying to save $10 million, and then next thing you know, Penix gets hurt, and we're right back to where we always are.
I can't imagine giving a quarterback the guaranteed money about the same as the GDP of like Luxembourg, but saying, "Hey, enjoy Kenny Pickett for a season," like it's not going to go over very well. So.
Like, hey, fans, you think it's been bad? It can always get worse.
But if you also believe in Jackson Dart, you can all either trade up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Wait,
draft Abdul Carter or Hunter. And then if that's the guy you believe in, trade at the end of the night, get into like 30, 31, 32 and take Dart if you really believe in him that much.
If you're the Browns, does it make more sense if you're going to take one of those players to let's just make the defensive line have two of the best game wreckers there is, or does it make more sense since we've already got that kind of game record up front to you get a lockdown corner like Hunter?
I don't think you lose either way. Honestly, it's either way. It makes their lives much easier.
Our two favorite.
Oh yeah,
running backs. Value running backs just went off the board.
Well, Mason's with the Vikes now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting to me because Aaron Jones very healthy last year, but I don't know if that was more of just insurance for Jones, or they're going to try to actually kind of have more of a two-headed monster? Because we kind of thought it was going to be that way last year, and it was just the Aaron Jones show.
No, and all those guys in Minnesota, other than Aaron Jones, were useless in fantasy.
In my upcoming zero RB tier list of running backs that you should be drafting as contingent plays, Mason and Garendo are both in the number one tier.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Keith, did you just see who Addie took?
Michael Penix. Love it.
Interesting. I like
Addie,
it.
you have London too, right? Or did I get? Yep. Oh, I love that pairing. Love that pairing.
Look at those stacks with Mahomes and Kelsey, and then Penix and London. Very nice.
And if you go back and look at London's target rate and just his numbers in the games with Penix, who again, poor London has been in the league for 2 years and had been saddled with just, the worst QB play imaginable. Kyle Pitts got 1 year of Matt Ryan. He didn't. He's just been going off of Mariota and those guys. And then last year, once Penix started, London really kind of showed what I've believed. He's a true number one wide receiver. Kev has talked at length that this kind of system we run, they feature their number one wide receivers, and it's just very condensed offenses. And I think getting Penix and London to go together and spending your second and 12th pick is potentially a huge win for Addie.
Yeah. I love it. Addie, how many Bills do you let yourself take in a draft? Do you have a limit?
Well, I like to get at least 2, but if I can get 3 good ones, then I will.
Yeah. I'm a Packer fan, and I always tell myself I can get one. I can get at least one, and then I have to limit myself. But they're not as good as the Bills are.
No, they're not.
I wanted here, and then it took right before me.
I know, and then Ray Davis went right after you took Penix there. So, but you already got James Cook. You're good. You could still get Dawson Knox later if you wanted to.
Ty Johnson will be hanging around.
All right, there's Darnold and Tua.
Addie, do you think Keon Coleman is going to have a big second year in this Buffalo offense, and they're going to use him more, or do you think kind of what we saw in the first year is more sort of his usage and stuff?
I think he's gonna have a better year now that he knows the team better.
That was very high on Coleman coming out. Like, I think he's a very talented receiver, and Buffalo needs to get back to, I think, having somebody take the top off of defenses a little bit more.
Cindy,
I love that Kirk pick.
I like the Kirk pick too. I
love Kirk so much.
In the 12th to go with Bach Browers as he's now going to be referred to for the rest of the draft.
Do we think Sonoy? I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name. Is it Ben Sanat? Sonoy? Sanat? Do you think he's going to be used more this year, or?
No. I mean, I think they kept Zach Ertz for a reason, so I can't imagine that they're.
I think that's just so they can do the ARP card and get the early.
Get that blue plate special.
Yeah.
I mean, Cliff Kingsbury does have a history of yanking Zach Ertz for a younger, better version. We saw that with Trey McBride, and now there's a chance that the Commanders could do the funniest thing this year and do the same thing with Ertz to Ben. I just don't see it, because I feel like if they really valued him as much as like we wanted to feel like his value was when we were drafting him a little bit higher than he probably should have been last season, that we would have seen a lot more and like a lot less of John Bates, like consummate blocker. As we saw, that's the thing. We see way too much of these blocking types, but there's just not enough room on the field, especially for a receiver. There was not a lot of receiving depth last year. They could have used, a receiving threat, and obviously they didn't think Ben Sanat could help them. So, and
to your point, now they went out and got Debo, right? Like they've added other weapons that I think are going to obviously eat into the targets overall.
He's a lottery ticket. Like he's an last round lottery ticket.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see what they do at running back, because that seems like that's the one spot where they really haven't upgraded just yet. And, maybe that means they're going to do something fun in the draft.
Eckler was really good, though. I know he's not going to be their lead back. That's obviously probably what you're getting to. They'll draft somebody to kind of maybe compete with Brian Robinson for that early down. But Eckler was so effective in the playoffs and at the end of the season that I'm kind of curious to see, if they kind of unleash him he's probably only got a couple years left, tops before he's getting near the end of his career.
Yeah. Cindy taking my beloved Marvin Mims. I love it. I love it. To go with some picks.
I won't say anything. I won't say anything about Marvin Mims. I'll just be nice.
Be nice.
Can I just say Samantha waited? I mean, actually, she didn't wait because she got Puka and Tyreek. But I love, again, just showing how you can have these runs where Olave, going to be hyper-targeted in that New Orleans offense. Judy, hyper-targeted. And if there's a Buffalo wide receiver that we know is going to get a lot of targets, it's Khalil Shakir. And she was able to scoop those up 6th, 7th, 8th round picks. I think those are all really smart and good selections.
Yeah, she's going to get some really great value there. There's Kendall's got Cole Kmet and Tua to go with Achan.
No, they pop.
All right. See, thank you, Sean. Mims did come on strong towards the end.
Well, I mean, he couldn't come on any weaker than it started. So, in fairness, when you're playing 3 snaps a game, but no, he had a great finish of the season for sure.
Fine, I'll say it. The next time he runs 50% of routes in a game will be the first time since 2023.
He tried so hard to keep it in. He just couldn't.
I did. Again, nice young man, I'm sure.
Very fast young man. We know that.
Yeah.
He runs like the wind blows. So,
And you're
Trey
saying
Franklin breakout 2025. Is this happening?
I mean, what constitutes a breakout? Like,
it's just so tough to know with Denver with the way they spread it out. Like, they're another one of those teams that I think by design they purposely didn't want to. Obviously, I should say Sutton gets targeted a lot, but overall, they spread it around, kind of like what we saw with Buffalo, where they wanted to not allow teams to zone in on anybody other than Allen and Cook. And, Allen was as efficient, I think, as he's ever been, and nobody was being, targeted a ton.
Yeah, no team embodies the whole is greater than the sum of its parts than the Denver Broncos. Sutton is the only receiver or only pass catcher really that had over 90% of routes last season, and was literally. I mean, to their credit too, little Jordan Humphrey is gone. There's quite a few guys that are gone too. The tight end room is still the same, but. Yeah, I think Mims could take a little bit of a step up as far as actually getting on the field, but we know how stubborn Sean Payton is at this point. So I'd almost rather trust that he's going to find a way to screw it up versus expecting him to do the right thing.
I think that's very fair. McCarthy, where are you guys at with McCarthy?
I don't know, man. It was not the most impressive sample size at Michigan. We're putting a lot of stock in somebody that has not played.
But isn't it the right coach for that? Because I mean, if
it is,
if there's
one thing, he's going to thrive. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And it helps having Justin Jefferson too.
Yeah,
so that's going to be
good enough for me.
Having Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison for that matter, and TJ Hawkinson, pretty good receiver room.
Yeah.
And Rondale Moore.
I mean,
did we get rid of Rondale Moore? What?
Can't forget Rondale Moore.
Look, I've been on the Rondale Moore train for the last 5 years. So
how's that worked out?
Are there a lot of empty seats around you? It's not a big train that a lot of people are on.
No, me and all my friends. You just can't see them.
A lot of tickets available.
Yeah. Definitely not going to be a cleared sale at all.
I mean, it's Kevin McCarthy, but I'm not Kevin McCarthy. I'm sorry. Kevin O'Connell becoming the new.
They've just become one person now.
Yeah, I'm just going to combine them together. That's their couple name. With the quarterback situation, making anybody a functional quarterback.
I mean, he literally talked the entire playbook to Josh Dobbs for 2 weeks. So I guess it's possible. As long as he's, doesn't have that terrified rookie reaction time, he's probably going to at least survive for a little while. But those are real live NFL players on the other side, not just Iowa. It's a little different.
Yeah.
All right, Brenton Strange goes. Addie is on the clock in our 14th round. Guys, we're making excellent time with this 20-round draft. Guys, just a reminder, Fantasy and Frames now has a Discord. So if you haven't joined and you would like to, please jump on in there so we can, chat all day, every day about fantasy football in March and April. Come on in. All right. You took Austin Eckler and Jalen Wright there back to back. Those are two really fun running backs to get this late. How do you feel about them?
I feel good. Jalen Wright, I feel like Tua, he's a good quarterback, just he might get hurt a little bit, but Jalen Wright, he's good with Tua, so I just thought Jalen Wright. And then Austin Eckler, he could just be a big home run for me.
Yeah.
I
think so. I love it. Especially this late, in the 14th round.
Plus, no Mostert either in Miami too. So it's really a sink or swim kind of thing for Jalen Wright. There's going to be carries available outside of Devin Achane too. So I do like that. It's certainly as a contingent play and as someone who might get some standalone value too.
Did you highlight?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it for you. I'll catch you up. Where's the receivers you got? Where's your receiver?
See. Ollie Gordon. There we go, Kendall. Yes. Jana, you were on the clock. Cindy, you are up next. We've got a running back run here.
A little bit.
Yeah, Sean, you're right. The Dolphins did get Alexander Madison as well.
I don't count him.
That's what I was saying, Kevin, when you were saying that, Jalen right there, after Mostert left, I was thinking and Madison's really not going to be that much of a threat.
I can't imagine him being a threat. Honestly, I feel like he's he's live to get cut. You know, I think the Dolphins could probably bring in somebody in the draft too.
Yeah.
He just feels like depth.
Yeah. Eckler, running back, 34, averaging
Steal.
11 points per game. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, Xavier Leggett. That's nice.
Thank you.
You know, he just got a new horse that he named Timepiece.
I mean, there's nowhere to go but up for Carolina.
For sure. They looked like they were finally getting it together, though, at the end
They
of the season.
started to look like an actual NFL team by the end of the year. It
Yeah,
was like nice and refreshing.
Exactly, like cautiously optimistic. Like it was almost just painful to watch. You know, like it just.
As a Falcons fan,
Not
I disagree.
almost, Stacey. It was.
It was just kind of
physically
sad.
hard.
I mean, like I like Bryce Young. I was like that was just getting really hard to watch. Like every week, them just getting beat up so badly. You know.
Bad. It was bad. I mean,
Yeah.
as long as he can stay healthy, here's hoping for that.
Devin Neal off the board. Yeah, I mean, Canales he's living up to his name, QB Whisperer.
Devin Neal.
Yeah. All right, we got Susan and then Brenda to wrap the 14th.
I mean,
Stacey, what's the Brave score?
It was 2-0. It's on commercial now.
Good guys or bad guys?
Bad guys.
Figures.
Avi, did you need it? And we were really trying to get that 4-game sweep from the Padres.
So you really want us to be 0-7 next Friday?
No,
when we
I
get home
don't.
opener?
I don't, because that's annoying.
I'll complain. How come we're not getting a bobblehead or anything? I'm a little upset.
Yeah, I mean the Chris Sale bobblehead's on the April 9th, so we don't even get the Chris
Lame.
Sale one. Yeah.
Shows the tight end depth. You know, when we're at tight end 23, 24, 25, and Komet, who gets an upgrade in Ben Johnson, Mike Gesicki, who can't, you know, Joe Burrow can't keep him out of his mouth, and Brenton Strange, who has nobody around him but blocking tight ends. Like, that's a pretty good trio to get ahead of the top 20.
And there's a tight end that I really like that I won't mention because I don't want Stacey to freak out.
That's right.
That is just 21 or just turned 22 years old. And
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a big breakout year with a quarterback we were just talking about. So
I'm looking at the
I just went. Look at that.
There you go. There you go, Cindy.
There he goes.
Cindy.
That's
Latavian
heavy on
Sanders.
Sanders.
Love it. Love it. You know what I was thinking just until a few rounds ago is I'm not seeing as many rookies going off the board in this draft as we have, I think, in the other ones.
You don't love that.
No, they're going to be going Fast and Furious from probably
Vin
now.
Diesel Fast and Furious or The Rock Fast and Furious?
I don't know.
Those are very different things.
Yeah.
Follow your heart, I guess.
Addie, Mr. Scampers loves your Ridley pick in the 10th round.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of that Josh Downs pick in the 11th.
Especially when Cam Ward's throwing to him. So
yeah, look at this. Exactly, Keith. That's gonna be nice.
And when you're reading Mr. Scamper's mind, you need to go get help. So
Oh.
just kidding, Mr. Scampers.
I will say for Jatavius Sanders, though, the runway is absolutely clear for him because Tommy Tremble's a free agent, is still unsigned. Ian Thomas is gone. The only thing that's left on their depth chart is a former wide receiver, now turned tight end, in Jordan Matthews, a former quarterback that moonlights as a tight end in Felipe Franks. Someone
needs to teach him not to land on his head when he goes upside down.
You probably figure that out after that happens.
God, that's scary.
Maybe don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like I said, he just turned 22. So I think that there's some real talent there. And if you believe in Bryce like I do, I still think Bryce is going to figure it out. We saw it a little bit last year. That's very good for, Sanders and, these other guys because there really was only 2 receivers they were targeting with regularity last year and running Chuba as much as possible.
Yeah. Well, he figured out he didn't have Jahmyr Gibbs, at his side that he could just dump the ball.
Oh,
We got some breaking news.
Did he resign?
Trumbull
Is that
resigned.
recent?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Sanders is the new hotness. Trumbull's his life is over.
Tony Trumbull. What a name.
Fantasy life is over.
Let's just clarify.
Yeah, I just said, look, I'm trying to, protect myself here.
Trying to be positive.
Speaking of Cam Ward, there you go. Oh, Tyler Conklin also in a new location.
Tyler Conklin, Addie on the clock. Oh, Geno Smith. Nice.
Like it.
Here we go. 2 days ago, apparently, is when Trumbull signed.
I'm so confused.
I like it. You got Romeo Doubs there. We are wrapping the 15th round of our 5th and final draft in the.
Did Dobbs go before Wicks too, or did I miss Wicks go?
Women's tournament.
He did not. I was literally going to say the Packers team leader in targets is not off the board yet.
Okay.
Not off the board yet. Kevin, Keith, are you guys excited for when the draft show returns on May 1st?
Not really. No, I'm serious. Yeah, of course, I'm stoked for us to be back. I can't wait for Erica to not get any of our movie references. Rich at that point's beard might take up the entire screen. It's going to be great to be back for sure.
I know, guys. Mark your calendars. We will be back May 1st. That is the first Thursday following the NFL draft. Draft show is going to look a little bit different than it did last year. We're not going to be doing a draft every single week, but we are going to be doing drafts spread throughout the off season. And then in between, we are going to be having different people come on and talk about some draft strategy in different formats. So if there's anybody that you particularly want to have on as a guest that you want to hear from, please drop it in the comments. Let us know in our DMs, and we will do our best to get them on. So trying to make our list right now about who we're going to have and who we're going to be asking. So
Mel Kiper, go make it happen.
Mel Kiper. Yeah, absolutely.
On the list.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I can just DM.
And my first question is going to be the helmet hair. How exactly?
What product do you put in there?
Yeah, what's going on there?
What product?
We're doing a 0RB show, right?
Oh yeah, I mean we have to do a 0RB show. Absolutely.
So it's just like a one man show.
And by 0RB show, do you mean the normal show that we do every week, or?
I mean, I do kind of bogart the show into 0RB ideology. So
Told you, I feel like a Jehovah's Witness at this point because you've converted me.
It's just going door to door with a pamphlet.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He says it's a tablet now, though, apparently. So he's upgraded since he converted me. But whatever.
I got a good bonus for that, by the way.
All right.
Guys, Cindy, how do you like your team so far? It's been a minute since we checked in on how we like our build.
I hope they like it better than the females that drafted. And I remember they were just like, I hate my team.
Yeah,
I actually really, really like it.
Yes.
I'm just now finding out, though, that there's a tornado warning in my area.
Oh, no, be
I was
careful.
just actually writing you and saying that I might have to leave here in a minute, depending.
Okay.
Get in the hallway, Cindy, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly where it's at. It just came up on my phone that it's in my county. So I'm not exactly sure where exactly it is. So
what state do you
I'm
live in,
going to try
Cindy?
to find out where it is first.
Oh my God.
Please stay safe. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. But other than that, I really like it.
Other than the tornado, I love what's happening.
Yeah, other than the tornado,
I love it.
So Twisters 3 is going to be Cindy drafting her fantasy football best ball draft during a tornado.
It might be.
Plot twist.
I may not have anything anymore, but at least I have this best ball team.
Also
At
starring
least
Glenn
I'm back
Powell.
to Davy and Sanders.
Nobody can take that away from me.
I can't say anything because I drafted the first round of Battle of the Sexes last year, actually, while I was in the ER. So I can't say anything. I think I have very stressful drafts for some reason.
How did that team turn out, though, is the real question.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's who go.
Oh man. Okay.
The battle of
This is
the
fun.
champion is right next to me.
Oh,
Hi-oh.
Yes, he is. This year's.
yes.
Jeez.
Guys,
What division were you in, Ryan?
we were in the bluey one, the bandit,
The bandit versus bluey.
Nice.
the father-daughter, bandit and bluey.
Are you guys going to be doing that again this year?
We are.
Remember, Addie, call him Boomer.
Boom!
Addie, I like your Noah Gray pick there to go with Kelsey.
too. Love it.
That's
And Mahomes. And
And
Mahomes.
Mahomes. Yeah. Because I mean they showed last year. I mean, they're using both of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Also, because Kelsey, he's getting a little old.
A little
That-
bit.
Long in the tooth.
Thought
A little bit.
Just a little old.
What is that?
be tootin'.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
we
PPR
got
cheat code just went.
Yep.
Stole my pick.
You got some good options left.
Yeah, there's a few. Like
In
that
the
one
60s
better. But yeah.
round
There's
here.
still a
Yeah.
tight end out there I really like, especially if the draft goes the way we're expecting in April.
Grant Calcaterra.
No.
Blocker extraordinaire. Grant Calcaterra.
There's some rookie. There's a couple rookie tight ends.
No, he's
At
not a
least-
rookie.
This is weird.
There's at least
He
two.
came
there.
on late last season, had a really good second half of the year.
I think it's a little wild here.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. All right.
A little wild.
Yeah.
I like it.
You know who else you got? You got Lamar. So you really, can take dart throws with the rest of your.
Over there.
There you go with Sam and Shadar. That's fun.
Like, come on.
Cindy's making her pick. Cindy, you're stressing me out over here.
Like, I think we have more anxiety than Cindy does about the tornado, to be very
I
honest.
think it's
Yeah.
it's
Like,
okay.
I feel like
for the
Cindy's a lot
moment.
calmer than all the rest.
Cindy's like her calmness for the tornado is like mine during a hurricane.
I think Cindy's just trying to see if Glenn Powell will show up at her house. Is really what
Fair.
she's doing.
Totally
This is
fair.
all
Not
a
a bad
ruse.
strategy, to be
Well,
honest.
yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're expecting somebody to end up getting like Jim Cantori, you better be like gone.
It'd be terrible.
He's not going to show up. I promise.
A real downgrade from Glenn Powell.
Looks out the
Yeah,
window
Yeah,
and
I was gonna
Cantori
say. I think so.
wrapping himself to the telephone pole.
Times are tough.
Oh man.
The
was it
original
so smart?
Twister when they go, "We've got cows." When the cow goes by,
Yeah.
always makes me pop every single time. There's a little
17
Jawan. Oh, Chig just went. See, I was
Yeah.
talking about Chig.
That's what
There's
you're
the
talking
guy.
about?
Yep, I was talking about
Yep.
Chig.
There we go. We got Chig. We got Jawan Johnson, 17th round. Guys, thanks to everybody who is watching, hanging out in the chat tonight with us for this last draft of the Fantasy and Frames Women's Basketball Tournament. While we are kind of doing that, I just want to
Bronco
shout
up.
out a lot of people who helped make this happen for us this year. So big thanks to everybody at Fantasy and Frames who helped put this together, graphics and, just getting the word out and all of it, and all the support. Big thanks, obviously, to the FFPC for hosting us for the second year in a row and making everything so incredibly easy. We even had a last-minute substitution yesterday. So you guys were so on the ball and just so easy to work with. So big thanks to you guys. And then obviously to all 60 of the women who have participated, in this draft in this year, bumping us up from 36 last year to 60 this year, 5 divisions. This has just been incredible for, us to get that many people to draft in a basketball tournament in March before the draft has even taken place. So I'm just so grateful for everybody who has been a part of it, and Kevin and Keith, you guys jumping in.
You're lucky that you thanked us because I was about to hammer you if you
I
didn't.
was
Just an
not
FYI.
finished yet, Keith Fleming. But like you
So
guys are just
angry
been
over
such
there.
gamers and doing
Always.
all
Hey,
these
to me,
drafts.
I want to note it on the
So much
record.
rage.
I want it noted on the record. I was willing to give you the grace to say everything you need to say.
Not me.
before Keith,
Next time I need you to thank me first, okay, and then Kev second.
Obviously, that's
Oh.
the correct order.
Yeah, and and everybody who jumped on the live streams too, and who sent in videos, just you guys are all amazing, and I'm so happy to be part of this community.
Everybody that took Brock Bowers, very proud.
Everybody that took our Bowers, yeah, you guys are the best. Obviously,
or
your teams are
Browers, as you like to say.
Get it
yeah,
right.
Brock Bowers,
Yeah.
as he will be known now from now
The
until
Wario to Brock Bowers.
yes.
I'm a Wario, and I'm gonna win.
Scampers, I love that. I'm so glad that she had a good time, drafting and just everybody seriously that joined. Hopefully next year we can have another division.
And the drafts have been so good. Like I've been so impressed with just like it's difficult. Like it's going to be difficult for anybody to win because I feel like all the teams are really strong. You can definitely see some different strategies, obviously, being done by different ladies, but it really is impressive to see. Like there's not weak teams, right? Like every team is really strong, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, to be fair, 59 teams, and then the one that Keith had his hands on too.
So you keep saying that. I'm going to take credit then if we win. If we're going to go all in on it, that's fine. I will be the women's champion. I got no problem with that.
So you're Santina Morella then?
No, it'll be like Ron Swanson on Parks and Rec when he got the Lady of the Year award in season 2 with Leslie, one of my favorite episodes, because he thinks all awards are dumb.
Keith, congrats on winning Miss WrestleMania.
That was
it was a great time for everybody.
Oh gosh.
I'm just glad somebody got that. Honestly.
Yes. Addie's making her 17th pick. The Braves are still losing.
0-7.
Oh, please don't. Oh,
What's it like to have a losing baseball team?
Morella existed.
Oh, we won't have a
Nicole,
losing
you
baseball
are
team.
so welcome. And I need to apologize publicly to April because I completely whiffed on making sure April was included in our draft here, which was pointed out to me a couple days ago. And I
Way to
felt
go, Stacy.
the worst person in the world.
Oh, no.
And then somebody had to drop out, for health reasons. And so thankfully we were able to get April in. So April, again, you have no idea how sorry I am and how terribly I have felt.
April, don't believe her. She told me that it was all part of her master plan.
Oh my gosh. No. Oh, it felt awful.
17th round on Tavian Wicks.
There we go.
We used to be a proper country.
You go from Nick Chubb, Kendra Miller to Dontavian Wicks. My, how the mighty have fallen.
No. Addie, do you feel like Nick Chubb is going to have like a little bit better of a year this year since he's kind of coming off that injury? He's got more time to recover.
Go Dogs.
I hope so.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's, I know, universally beloved everywhere. Not even just Browns fans. So
get him on a team,
right?
Yeah.
Get him on the Cowboys.
Seriously.
And he lost, one of the most heartbreaking national title games ever in 2018. And he stuck around even though he could have turned pro. And just one of the underrated all-time backfields was with him and Gurley. Just ridiculous. Huge shit when we had both of them.
Two-headed monster that was.
Oh, they were so good.
God.
After Nick Chubb went to the Steelers.
Ooh.
I would love for him to go to a franchise that actually knows what they're doing. No offense, Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
As a Falcons fan, I say this knowing what it means to be a franchise that doesn't know what they're doing. So
there's about 31 other, teams.
There generally, there's almost anyone else.
Yeah.
Browns.
Speaking of Steelers, there's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. So Addie, so I see your Steelers flag in the background. Is that because you live in Pittsburgh, or are you like a kind of a Steelers fan?
My mom, she's from Pittsburgh. We do live in Pittsburgh, but yeah.
Do you hold it against your mom that she's a Steelers fan, or do you let her get a pass because she's your mom?
Well, if she's like, go, I'm like, they're the Steelers.
Atta girl.
Addie, do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to sign with the Steelers?
Yeah, and it's just going to make their team worse.
She is so smart. I knew she was by the draft, but as you can tell, this girl knows ball.
She knows. She
knows ball. Yes.
She's going to put us all out of a job.
Right.
100%. It's going to be the draft show with Addie next year.
We all had a good run.
Yeah.
We're going to get put out to pasture.
Life
Man,
after
you think
content.
Erica thinks
What are we
our
doing?
pop culture references are old. Wait to Addie hear some of them. She's gonna be like, "What? All right, boomer."
Skibbity toilet and all that.
Oh my gosh, you have to stop saying that.
I don't even know what it is.
I
I
Googled
know,
it.
that's why
I
you
did
have to
Google
stop
it.
saying it.
It's really creepier than I thought. Like that,
It
the
is.
image that I saw, I was like, "Oh my god, that's freaking me out."
Oh,
It's some kind of like AI thing or something.
Awful. Oh, look at that. We're going in the bottom of the sixth. We still have yet to score a run.
I really like Darius Slayton, by the way, with the Winston and Russell signings for the Giants, because both of those guys can throw the ball down the field. For whatever reason, that was something Daniel Jones did very well early in his career, not so much later in his time in New York. And Slayton has, I know this because I've won some money in DFS late in seasons the last couple of years. He can pop off, and that's what he excels at is down the field stuff. So I really like Slayton in this format where you're just trying to get a couple of games where he scores 15, 20 points, with a guy in like 17th, 18th round.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want in best ball, especially in these late rounds, right? You want guys that have the potential just to, give you a couple games with like Taysom Hill here. Like we got the
Taysom Hill. That's Darius Slayton's all well and good, but Taysom Hill?
Taysom Hill is like the epitome of best ball draft choices, I think.
Yeah. I was going to say the epitome of the Saints, that he sucks, but, he can still do okay at times. Like that's pretty much like what the Saints are. So,
oh my gosh, I will never get over being in New Orleans like after the Bucs beat them in the playoffs and seeing like voodoo dolls of Tom Brady. Like that was insane.
What's insane is how bad it smells in New Orleans. Like, clean up your city, folks. It smells so bad, and I'm not even like that's not a joke. It's an awful smell. That I get that it's bourbon and all, like it's partying and that's got and it's below sea level, which also probably doesn't help when everything gets washed out all the time. But that smell will knock you down the first time if you've never been to New Orleans.
I've been there. It's perfectly fine to me.
Yeah, I went in February and did not notice anything, but it was also very cold.
Well, you live in Florida, so it's basically the same thing. Potato.
Hey.
I'm kidding.
There goes Sincere McCormick.
Did you guys see the pollen count in Georgia yesterday? So the record before yesterday.
I can't say that I have, Keith.
That was not
9,000. It's 5,000 more. To where, like, I'm not kidding you. If you looked out, it looked like a yellow haze. Like you were in, what was the Johnny Depp movie? Where he was messed up all the time with the sunglasses. What is the name of that
every movie Johnny Depp?
Well,
fair enough. We didn't narrow that down.
Help us.
Is it Fear and Loathing Las Vegas?
Las Vegas. Yeah.
But it was a yellow tent, and it is like, I mean, you can taste it when you go outside. And we were hoping we were going to get rain today, and of course, it didn't rain. So now the count's going to be super high for another few days.
Yeah,
no
well,
bueno.
have to give me that website to bookmark so I can keep tabs on the Georgia pollen.
I'll send you updates, Kev. You don't even have to do that.
Oh, perfect. What a mensch.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care what they say about you, Keith. You're all right.
Sometimes.
Angie says that she still has the stink of drafting Taysom Hill on her from Friday.
It is not stank, Angie.
It's the New Orleans smell. She knows what I'm talking about.
It is tough to get out of your clothes, I guess.
This is the first I've heard about New Orleans'
smell,
foul odor.
It's awful.
That's me too. I when I was in New York the first time, I think I noticed that very much, but I didn't notice it so much about New Orleans.
I think you had a really bad sinus infection and you weren't aware of it.
Well,
because
to be fair, the last time I went was 2003, so
it's strong.
Syracuse was winning the national title, but what do I know?
So that was before Katrina, right? That
that was 05.
Yeah.
I went in 2021, like during COVID on Bourbon Street. That was wild with the curfews. Ooh.
Well, see, so again, to keep it PG, but I'm sure that you were extremely sober, and that had nothing to do with you thinking it smelled normal.
All of your wits about you.
All my wits about me. Danny Dimes, 19th, and with Anthony Richardson there. I just saw what Brenda did. Because I was wondering why she took a fourth QB, and then I realized that she took Danny Dimes and Anthony Richardson. So really, it's just 3 since
with AD Mitchell. I like the AD Mitchell combo, even though he's another guy that's like, can we just please get him on the field just a little bit, please?
And he's taking my favorite Ivy League player, Andre Yoshivas.
Yoshi.
Love Yoshi.
Yoshi. Pentathlete.
It is fun to say.
It really is.
But not fun to use in Mario Kart. He's too weak. He gets bounced around too much. I don't like
Who
that.
does?
He does.
Yoshi.
I'm a Luigi main forever. So
Luigi's good.
Same color, wrong person.
I just like Wario because again, I'm a Wario and I'm gonna win. I like the confidence.
That's the right vibe to bring.
Maybe that's what we need to do at the expo. We need to have a
Mario Kart.
Yes.
I think that's a good plan.
Yeah.
That's a real good plan.
Who do we
I
have
would
to
love
clear
that.
to get a Mario Kart? Who do we need to talk to?
How about this? My wife, I have a Nintendo 64 that I bought a few years ago. And just randomly, my wife came home the other day and goes, "Can I play the Nintendo 64?" And I went, "Really?" She bought 007, and I've never been more proud of her. She just like ordered it and didn't tell me or nothing. GoldenEye. I was like, wow.
Yes.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right.
I knew I married you for a reason.
That is a
Odd Job is banned in multiplayer, by the way, because he's shorter than everybody else.
Addie, are you a video game person? Do you play video games?
Not really, but my brother does.
No, you're too
older
cool
or younger brother?
He's 8.
So do you like to kind of, bully him around a little bit, show him what's up, being big sis, or are you more the protector?
Protector.
That's a good girl. That's good. That's sweet too, because you're gonna eventually, I promise, you'll be really close with your brother. Even if I know at times I wanted to kill my sister growing up, but now we're like best friends. So,
Kamani Vidal. All right, who's?
I love the Theo Johnson pick, man.
I know. Even if it was an auto pick, that's a good one there, especially in the 19th round.
I like the Jalen Tolbert one too, because Dallas is wide open after.
What I was just talking about. Yep.
In case Miles Sanders.
God, how does this guy keep getting jobs?
How does he keep getting away with it? Damian Martinez. 20th round, guys. Those of you.
Where did Jalen Knoll go?
Jalen Knoll. He's right here.
Literally above on the clock. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm saying I don't know where did he play college ball?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know off the top of my head.
And has Amari Smith really not gone in any of the drafts? Because
apparently Iowa State, by the way.
Iowa State. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't think so.
Because I think he's going to be somebody that he is going to impress these scouts so much. He was wide open all the time. Pretty big issue when you have a drop percentage like he did of like 20%. But he is a stud with size, speed, everything. And to me, he could be the next Jalen Hyatt. That wouldn't surprise me either. But I could see him end up being somebody that makes some noise if he goes to the right team.
I was going to say that's like polar out. Like you could be the next Jalen Hyatt who goes like 0.35 yards per out run last season, or he could win the Bolitnikov. Either way.
Well, you know what I mean? The Jalen Hyatt's a guy,
there, one way or
athletic, big, had the size. A lot of people were very high on him, and then just it has not worked out. That could definitely be Smith, especially if he continued to drop it the way he did in college. But he was also wide open all the time in the SEC, which is not the easiest feat in the world.
No.
And hands feel like, for wide receiver or for any pass catcher, feels like the most like coachable thing,
right?
Like you can't teach a guy to get wide open. You can't teach. You could teach footwork to an extent, but like that's almost like an innate thing with like pass catchers.
Yep.
But you can teach them how to not either alligator arm it or catch with their body.
Mm-hmm. And he was definitely pressing. You could see it at points in the season where once you drop a few, then you're trying to force the ball in and But he's a very talented guy, and it would not surprise me if he ends up going a lot earlier than people have him in this draft.
What?
Yep.
No one did.
All right, guys, we got the last couple. We have the last 4 picks here in the 20th round.
2 Broncos going back to back, and Bailey and Franklin.
Exactly. Addie, I think somebody was talking about a Troy Franklin breakout year, 2025, before you came on. Yeah. There goes Jackson Dart.
Is that the 3rd rookie? I'm assuming, right? Quarterback.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I think it's just been Ward, Shutter, and Jackson Dart have been the only ones who have
Has Dart gone on every draft, do you think?
I don't think he went last on Friday.
Did he? No.
I think there might be at least one draft where he didn't go, but I think he has pretty much gone. There goes Mason Taylor. There you go, Cindy.
Who is Mr. Irrelevant?
Last pick, Brenda. Who's it gonna be?
The entire tournament.
We're all watching. All
Take
eyes are on
Brady.
you.
Take Brady.
Tim Tebow.
Who's it gonna be? Let's see.
Or Gronk. It's tight end premium. I forgot.
Premium. Oh my goodness.
Suspense is killing me. Come on.
Sweat it out.
Yay! Go Dogs!
Georgia. Very nice. Very nice. All right, guys. Let's do a quick review of our teams real fast. If we love, hate them. Who is our favorite overall pick? Cindy, hit us with your team in case you have to go get in the basement.
Yeah, it's getting real close.
Oh, tell her to go.
So,
Stacey, don't get her in
I'm
trouble.
probably about out of here. Any
There are a
moment.
lot of
Be
colors
safe,
on your
Cindy.
phone right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I can see him from that far.
Yeah,
There
please
is.
be safe.
I love my Brock Bowers pick and Christian McCaffrey, honestly, more than anything. But yeah, I'm still pretty happy with my team, actually. You know, the bottom, once I started hearing about the tornado, I kind of went weird. But
I think that's understandable, though.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
Understandable, Cindy. Cindy, before you go, tell everybody where they can find you online.
I'm at Cindy Kuberg on Twitter, X, whatever it is, or Cindy Q to you on Blue Sky. So
All right. Well, please go get in the basement. Be safe. Let us
Okay.
know that you're okay, please. Check in with us in
Okay.
the group chat. Thank you so much for coming
Okay.
on and hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having this. This is so
Absolutely.
great. It's so
Be
much
safe.
fun. See you guys later. Thank
Bye,
you.
Cindy. Jana, tell me about your team. Favorite pick. How do you feel overall?
I mean, I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling like we took a couple of flyers. I'm still feeling fine about my running back heavy approach early, despite, not everyone being on board with that, and that's fine. I'm happy with Lamar being, the quarterback leading the way. I think that's going to, reap a lot of rewards down the stretch. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. Love it. Addie. Well, actually, hang on, Addie, real quick. Jana, tell everybody where they can find you online.
You can find me on Twitter /X/ whatever we're calling it this week, at JKIM16. And from there, you can find links. The 4th and Inches show runs all football season long. We're at, really everywhere. But you can find us on Podbean is probably the easiest place there. And I am not in a tornado, but we are crossing our fingers for Cindy. Thank you again to all of you guys for putting this together. And I am just very excited to be a part of it. So it'll be great.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and joining this year. Very excited to have you. All right, Miss Addison, tell us all about your team. What do you love? What do you not love so much? Who's your favorite pick?
So I like how I have my stacks, but so I like that I have my couple stacks. I like that I have at least one of my Bills. I think I did a couple quarterbacks good.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite stack?
My favorite stack is probably Travis Kelce back.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Clever girl. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, Addison, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, it's great to meet you, Addie.
Yeah, tell everybody where you're drafting this year. You're doing the Battle of the Sexes. Are you doing any other drafts?
I'm doing Battle of the Sexes. We don't know if I'm doing Fishbowl yet, but I might be.
Fishbowl.
The kids.
Oh,
Eddie, we need to get you into DFS next. That's the next thing we need to get you into.
yeah. Addie, are you going to be coming to hang out at the expo this year?
Maybe just on Sunday.
Maybe on Sunday.
All right,
I
guys.
hope we see you, Addie,
I
there.
hope we see you there. I
Yeah.
got to meet you this year during the Queen's Classic. So hopefully we will see you again on Sunday. So thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight and drafting with us.
Thanks for inviting.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely, girl. There is Nico. Addie, thank you again and have a great rest of your night.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys.
Get a room.
Oh,
This is my
little
buddy.
Nico.
Don't be.
Sweet
He's
little
excited about
Nico.
seeing Stacy next week, aren't you, buddy?
I can't wait to see Nico next week. I've been looking at puppy treats to get for him and Lola.
Sleepy.
And I got to find something cute for Salem too, because we can't have Salem feeling left out.
That's right. Anything with food, thou's happy with Sam because he's fat.
No, well,
No, he's fat.
we don't body shame on this podcast.
It's not body shaming when it's just he's fat.
Guys, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. If you have stayed with us through the entire 1 hour, 50 minutes, 37 seconds of our show, please make sure that you have liked, subscribed, follow all of us here at Fantasy and Frames. Draft show will be back Thursday, May 1st, probably 8 p.m. That's around the time we did it last year. So we will be back. Again, if you have any guests that you want us to specifically try to include this off season, send us a DM, let us know. We will do our best to get on that. Otherwise, that's the next time we're going to be back is May 1st. So until then, you can catch all of us online. You can find Keith over at Keith Fleming. Kevin over is at K. Tompkins.
Can I plug real quickly, Stacy, that me and Kev have a Q&A show now on Fridays with Nate over at Optimus Fantasy. I believe that'll be 6 p.m. every Friday. So if you have any questions, that across the board with NFL fantasy football, we'll be there on Fridays. Be sure to hit those up. We're excited to be doing that though this offseason.
Absolutely. So that's where you will see them. You probably won't see me too much until May 1st. But
I'll see you next Friday. What are you talking about?
I'll see you next Friday. I'm talking about as far as this goes. Kevin again is on Blue Sky. I think we're all on Blue Sky as well.
I am. I'm there.
Yep, we're all on Blue Sky as well. I am at Stacy_Perez83 on all forms of social media. You can find all of us there. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for this entire tournament. Thanks to everybody who participated. You guys are the best. You're amazing. I will be putting out updates throughout the season for the standings and who is winning. And then obviously we'll know at the end of the season who is taking home the championship for the second annual Fantasy and Frames Women's Tournament. Until then, guys, we will see you in May. Bye, everybody.